I got the infamous driver's side low beam out. As you can see, the passenger one is working fine. The message came up a while ago, and I went ahead and did the usual where I went ahead and switched out the two bulbs just to make sure that's working. Put the passenger bulb in the driver's side, didn't work, but my bulb in the driver's side worked in there, so obviously I knew it wasn't a bulb issue. So doing a lot of research, I found out it's actually the ballast is one of the other problems it could be without having to buy a whole new headlamp, which costs about anywhere from $700 to $800 because these are the xenon lights. So I'm going to show you a quick way to remove the headlight out so it's easy to get to the ballast, and remove that, buy the new ballast, put it in, and reassemble. Alright, first thing I did was just come in here under the driver's side and I removed the inner wheel front splash guard here. It's basically two bolts, one here and here. There'll be one in the back here that goes into the right here. And then there is a couple plastic screws that kind of just pop out with a regular flathead screwdriver. There's one here, one here, one here, and then you kind of can see where the rest of them are in. There's one up here you got to pull off. Okay, once you got those screws out inside here, there's a couple screws underneath here that you'll see that go into the bottom splash guard there, which actually fits on the bottom of the inner splash guard on the bottom there. You'll see there's 3 clamps. So those 3 screws as well go onto the front bumper here. Once you get those, so after you wiggle it out, it's a little tough. It comes out. You'll have access to the headlamp. In order to remove the headlamp from the inside, you'll have to remove this bolt here. This is the 3rd bolt, and I kind of already did. I just put it in there so you can kind of see where it comes out. That's the 3rd bolt that goes into your headlamp. That'll remove it from the inside. I just removed this too, because this connects to the bumper. Remove that as well, because you actually have to remove the bumper here. Once you get that done, there's actually a little screw right here that you'll take out, and then you'll be able to pull this whole bumper out. There's a bracket here that holds it. This is the only hard part about this job, is there's a little metal bracket. Once you pull that apart, this metal bracket will come off, and it's kind of hard to get back on. But once you get that off, this whole bumper will pull out about 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches, which gives you just enough clearance to remove this headlight. I removed the grill just because I didn't want to break anything when I'm moving it. So I removed the bolt here and removed the bolt here. So it's this bolt here, and that 3rd bolt on the inside that actually holds this together. So once you do that, and once you get this bumper out on the side here, you'll be able to pull this out a little bit. And there goes the bracket I was telling you about. I went ahead and jacked my car up too, just to make it easy. This is the bracket that holds it together with the screw. You can kind of see you pull it forward a little bit. Once you pop this out of here, you'll have plenty of room to work this out. Actually, it makes it a lot easier too to get to the side marker light lamp, this little 50-cent lamp that burnt out for me. That's really hard to get to as well. So I'm going to go ahead and wiggle this out and show you what it looks like once you get it out. And there you go. Just pull it towards you. You have to kind of pull your bumper back just a little bit, but don't pull it back too much. You got to be careful. You don't want to snap anything. There's an inner frame to the bumper, plastic frame to the bumper as well, but it moves back far enough where you can get it out. So you can kind of see I pulled the headlamp out. Lean it to the side here, and right when you come underneath it, voila, there it is. That's what you're looking to replace right there. It's 3 torque bit bolts that come out, and it plugs right in and comes right out. That's the infamous problem, I think, the ballast. The ballast is what you need to replace here when you have xenon lights and you have one side that goes out, but you know it's not the bulb that's not working. You get that low beam passenger or driver side indicator light. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this, order it apart, put it back on, and then put everything back together, and it should be working just fine. But again, this is how you remove the headlamp. Even if you're replacing the whole thing, you could just see, you just disconnect all the wires. All the connectors to your lights. There's about 4 of them total. If you go back here, you can kind of see there's 2 down there, there's 1 on this side, and the whole thing will pull out for you. So just in case that doesn't work, I'm gonna have to replace this whole headlamp and put a new one in. But I'm just trying to save myself about $700 in doing it myself. So that's a quick tip on how to remove your headlamp assemblies. This is a 2008 Ml63 Amg W164. Not too many people have any videos on any older AMG models, so I figured I'd put one out there for you guys and hopefully help you. Alright, got the ballast off fairly easy. 3 screws, T15 torque bit, just a regular screwdriver handle. Took it off and just popped it off. It just plugs right in here and it's plugging in. One of the reasons I wanted to take this off before I ordered it is, one, obviously Mercedes, they always put their part numbers on everything, which is sweet. So I know what I'm looking for. 2, when I'm ordering something, I know I can match up what the plug is, just in case I want to go aftermarket. If I find something that's suitable. If not, obviously I'll go OEM, depending on the price and what I want to do. So that's it. That came out pretty easy. Find the part, and then I'll just have to reinstall, line up the light, put the bolts on, work that bumper bracket back on, and it should be done. Alright, got the headlight out, as you can see. I did not have to remove the bumper. I did remove the grill, and I had to remove there's a little bracket in here that holds this together, and a couple bolts. And then a bolt that goes to the side of the headlight. So basically, take your time, it's easy to do, and you kind of just wiggle it out. You have to get this front piece here, this piece here, as it lays down, as it's in there. You got to pull this out a little bit, get it past that, and then carefully wiggle it out and give yourself a little room here, and it comes out. Again, be careful because you don't want to crack or scratch up your bumper, but have some patience while you do it, and it'll pop right out for you. And carefully, don't pull too hard because you can see all your connections there. You can pull out with it. But here's what I did. Here's the old ballast that fits. It fits right underneath. See, that's how it's supposed to sit. Right? Directly sits underneath it is the ballast. It's 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. This is the old part, so this is the original OEM part that was with it. You guys can see the A164, A20, 81, 85, which is no longer available anywhere. If you do get the part from Mercedes, it's like $1,300. So what I did was go on eBay, found this part here. Hopefully you guys can see that part number. It comes from Hong Kong. It's got a nice little sheet on it that tells you it's compatible with this part number. So with my Ml63 Amg, this part fits it and was compatible. So again, I'll give you guys another shot at the part number. So it just plugs in right here, kind of just plugs in. It's got the right, here's the back part of it, you can see. So make sure when you order these that your plug looks like that. And it plugs right in, the 3 screws, and then you kind of just work its way back in there, sit flush. I've already put this in and tried it, and it fixed my problem. So that's the low beam left light bulb fix for your W164. I'm assuming this is probably going to be the same for any Mercedes with xenon bulbs. I'm going to install this, get everything back, show you guys that it works, and then kind of recap. All you can see is I got it in. Again, be patient because it doesn't fit right in. You got to wiggle it in and get the bumper out a little bit and make sure it hits a lot of things on the inside. But I'm going to show you guys that the light does work. It wasn't working when I first had it. I had the low beam left out, so we'll turn it on. Turn on the lights. You can already see it's working. Fantastic. So again, did the usual when it went out. Kind of give you guys a recap. It started blinking, finally went out, gave you that dull purple looking light. Bought some new headlights, put them in, worked for about a day, and then it went out. And couldn't figure out what the problem was. Nobody has a good video. Some people explain it a little bit, but not very good on what to do. So took the bulb out of there, out of the passenger side, put it in here, didn't work. Took the bulb out of here, put it in the passenger side, it worked. So I knew the bulb was good. And then upon taking everything out, replacing the ballast, which I got on eBay for 200 bucks, which if you guys know, you get an OEM part from Mercedes for that ballast. It's 1,300. These xenon headlight assemblies are anywhere from $700 to $1,000 bucks. So do the math. I saved $500 to anywhere from $800 bucks and doing this myself and diagnosing it. And it's pretty easy to do. You just gotta have patience and putting everything back together and putting all the bolts in. So it's not much bolt to do. It's just kind of a bracket on the inside here that holds that together, a couple bolts, and then there's 2 bolts that go to the headlight and to the frame, and you're back in business. So I hope this was helpful. When I post this, I know this is a common problem, and I really hope that it's detailed enough that you guys feel confident to go in there and fix the problem yourself. Have a good one.